Rivera again applied the pressure. Harry Kemp, by the way, was the intended receiver. Here comes Rivera.
Yeah, that's what you have to do to Majkowski. You have to give him the pressure from the outside so that he can't scramble, and then get pressure up the middle so he can't step up. Now, those are a lot of things to have to do, but when you do that and you put that kind of pressure on, he has nowhere to go.
2nd and 10. From the 38. Back to throw Majkowski, and the pass is complete to Sharp. And Sharp gets deep into Bear territory to the 35, and a Packer first down, a pickup of 27.
You know, Sharp has good speed moves, and he's carrying some stuff in there. Do you see where those hand warmers or something? They don't even seem to slow him up. Good pass protection. Watch how he moves. He's carrying some stuff in there underneath the 8 and the 4. Look at that. And he can still run. Look, blah, 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 blah. That stuff's bobbling on down there.
That must be gloves or something.
Oh,
An extra set of gloves.
Yeah, and some hand warmers, and, you know, he probably got a lot of stuff in there. But doesn't even slow him down. He got that stuff's going one way, and the body's going the other way.
1st and 10 at the 34 at Woodside. Out of bounds inside the 30 by Marcus Paul. Gain 6.
You know, Sterling Sharp has 81 yards, Pat, in receptions today, but 47 of those are after he made the catch. Has 81 yards, and you know, that's the thing, is that you get him the ball, and that first guy usually doesn't get him.
You ask him where he lined up most of the time last night, and it took about 10 minutes for the answer.
He lines up everywhere, and he said the place he'd like to line up most is quarterback.
2nd down and 4. Majkowski got the ball out to Woodside, who couldn't find the handle.
Hey, I think that the Packers would feel much more comfortable if they could get in field goal range and get another field goal here, because with a 2-point lead, you know that a guy like Kevin Butler can beat you all day, and that thing sits there.
3rd and 4. That's the day for Majkowski, a good one. 18 of 31. 3rd and 4. The Bear 28. It'll be tough to get a field goal from here against the wind going this way. He gets the ball to Woodside, I believe, on Michael Haddix. And that should be enough for a first. Lorenzo Lynch knocked him down.
That's what an experienced pass receiver coming out of the backfield. Haddix ran a hook, and he just got up beyond the first down marker before he sat down. Haddix is a 7-year veteran. He was a Plan B guy from the Eagles, but an inexperienced guy will hook up short.
First down at the Bears 23. 5 out of 6 on 3rd down for Majkowski. Singletary faking blitz. Doesn't do it. Haddix manages to lean for a couple, stopped by Dick Shapura and Singletary. 2nd down. 2-yard gain.
You know, Lindy Infante has surrounded himself with players. He has 4 players on this team that played for him at Jacksonville. Then he has Fontenot, who played for him at Cleveland. So he not only brought players to Green Bay and coaches, but, you know, I mean, his whole philosophy, I mean, he brought a lot of things. If that makes sense.
They've kept the ball 4.5 minutes on this drive. Used 11 plays. Ball's knocked loose, and I think picked up in the air. They're saying his arm was going forward. An attempted pass, and again Majkowski is down, this time with the elbow. Roper and Shapura put the pressure on him.
Shapiro is coming right up the middle. You see him just to the left of Makowski. He's going to hit him there. Roper was coming from the outside. They both arrived there at the same time. Now, that would have been the Bears' ball, except the official said that his arm was going forward.
Well, then why wouldn't it be an interception if they caught it in the air? Makowski's been knocked down 6 times today.
I think if he caught it in the air, it has to be an interception.
I think they're still discussing. 7:41 left to play.
In any case, Green Bay is going to have to take a timeout to keep Makowski in here, because the trainers came running out on the field when he got hurt. Now, if that ball's caught in the air, then that's an interception.
Well, he did not.
Yeah, it hit the ground,
Okay.
so that's it. So they were just saying that his arm was in thing. It's an incomplete pass.
15 seconds. After review by replay, the play stands as incomplete. Stop.
3rd down.
And then when Makowski went down, the Green Bay trainers came running out on the field. So then they had to take him out of the game, and they took a timeout, and now they're trying to get that thing started again.
Number 8 is Anthony Dilweg, who came out, and now Makowski comes back out.
See, what they had to do is when the trainers came out, they had to take the timeout. Then Makowski can stay in, go out and stay in. If not, if he goes out, he has to go out and stay out for a play.
So it's 3rd and 8, and the ball's at the 21 now. Sterling Sharp over to talk to Infante. And now they're going to take another timeout. Sterling Sharp went trotting over to the sideline to talk with Infante. That gives Makowski a little bit more time to get rid of all the cobwebs. So the Pack takes a timeout with 7:41 remaining, leading by 2.
The writers of Motor Trend magazine road tested a lot of cars before the Mitsubishi Galant. They road tested a lot of cars after it. But no other car was so well conceived, so well crafted, so thoroughly satisfying to drive. And that is why they marked the occasion in the most significant way they could. They named the Mitsubishi Galant Motor Trend Import Car of the Year.
Premium champagne.
Light. It is magical, powerful, essential. At GTE, we place that power at the touch of your hand. The power to open any darkness, to illuminate the facts of science, brighten the arenas of sports and business, create the warm glow that means home. At GTE, we give you the power of Sylvania light in 6,000 ways, none of them small. At GTE, the power is on.
This NFL game summary is sponsored by Levi's 505 jeans, the zipper fly jeans with a traditional Levi's fit.
The Packers have scored on 6 out of 8 possessions. Neil Anderson of Chicago has 180 yards total offense today. Makowski is at quarterback, 3rd and 8. And back to throw it. To Sharp at the 10, at the 9. Lorenzo Lynch and Marcus Paul brought him down, but a pickup of 12.
Watch Sterling Sharp. He's up there. He's just going to run a slant. You see, he runs into Wolford. Then he uses that pass rush move. You see him? He slapped Wolford with his right hand, brought his left arm inside, then that put him inside of Wolford. You know, you see that more and more, that where wide receivers are using defensive lineman techniques. Who would have thought?
First and goal at the 8 for the Packers. They lead by 2. Less than 7 minutes left to play down. Fullwood almost lost the ball. It almost popped out of there. No gain. Richard Dent and Roper were the 2 tacklers. No gain on the play, maybe a half yard by Fullwood. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 8. Mike Singletary was over on the sideline during one of those last 2 timeouts in a real serious debate with one of the Bear coaching staff. 2nd and goal at the 8. Makowski underthrows Woodside. He had a man, Ed West, who was totally uncovered in the end zone. Didn't see him.
I think Makowski was upset with himself because he thought he had Woodside too. He thought all he had to do was make that throw, and that was a touchdown. You know what happened when Makowski got hurt? That was the automatic timeout. Then he had to leave the game, and that's why the Packers had to take another timeout. In other words, they brought Makowski back in the game with a timeout.
So it's 3rd and goal at the 8, and watch out for number 84. To Haddix, who lunged into the end zone. I haven't seen it signed for touchdown as yet. Haddix was ruled down short of the goal line. Boy, there's one. That looked like he got in by plenty.
Yeah, it's funny. They had all 4 wide receivers spread out. Haddix in the backfield, spread everything out. Just hit Haddix here. Now, it looked like he was going down there. Now, I don't know. That looks like a touchdown to me. Unless they're going to say that his knee was down first, but it doesn't look like it. Knee's not down, ball's out. I guess maybe the knee was down. That's what they have to be saying. The knee was down first.
Before the ball crossed the plane. I don't know.
I don't know. That shot there looked simultaneous. That looked like the knee went down and the ball crossed simultaneously.
That looked like a touchdown to me.
The play called fourth down.
Well, they're saying after further review, the microphone on Dick Jorgensen, the referee, breaking up, obviously. But what he said was the play stands. It's 4th and goal at the 1. It was ruled from the replay booth as being inconclusive.
And I think Lindy and Fonte now, because of that, they have to kick the field goal. Because with a 2-point lead, I think he has to get that field goal. Although now he's going to go for it.
Going for it.
I would think you don't want it. I think you have to kick a field goal there.
It's going to be tough for the Bears to dig in or the Packers down here. That field's frozen. Makowski is going to dance in. Faked the ball to Fullwood and kept it himself. Second rushing touchdown of the day for the man they call Magic.
I'll tell you, it's been that kind of day for him. And if you need a touchdown and it is 4th down and you are going to go for it, and you are trying to get in the playoffs, you might as well do it this way. Fake to someone and let Makowski keep it.
Shackey's extra point is good. That's kind of dangerous what Makowski did. About the 3-yard. 3-yard line, he started displaying the ball. 37-28, nevertheless. 5:21 left to play.
Time and time again, for professional photographers and amateurs as well, the world's great pictures are trusted to the same brand of film, Kodak. Why trust your great pictures to anything less?
The world thirsts for a car that is economical, yet fully equipped, basic, yet polished, practical, yet inspiring. Some may think such a car is only a mirage. It is. The award-winning Mitsubishi Mirage. Buy the special edition Mirage EXE and get air conditioning and AM/FM stereo cassette at no extra charge. Save over $1,000.
My baby don't care for shows. My baby don't care for clothes. My baby just cares for me.
Share the fantasy. Chanel number 5.
When you have these, why would you need a Black & Decker Power Ratchet? Because it's faster, easier, and works in lots of places manual wrenches can't. The Black & Decker Power Ratchet. It's really turning a lot of heads.
Record-breaking, history-making, Steve Largent ignites the Seahawks against the Skins. Holiday action begins next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern.
Back at Soldier Field, Pat Summerall with John Madden. Packers now lead by 9. Jackie's kickoff goes to Sanders at the 9. Tackled by Jackie and by Ron Pitts. 33-yard return by Sanders.
Let's look at the touchdown again, Pat, and we look here. Look at Mikowski here. He looks like he's smiling. He looked like he knew that they were in the defense he wanted. Great fake by Brent Fullwood. And then once he does that, now watch number 50, Mike Singletary here. He's looking. He's going to dive. He's going to get Fullwood. Boom. No ball in there.
No contact. 1st and 10 Bears. Harbaugh. Out to Anderson. Anderson out of bounds by Dave Brown.
Yeah, it's interesting. Dave Brown there played at Michigan. And when Dave Brown played at Michigan, his defensive backfield coach was Harbaugh's dad. So Jim Harbaugh was saying that he knew Dave Brown like when he was 9 years old. His dad was coaching him. His dad always told him that he was the best defensive back he ever coached.
Boy, if you looked at a rundown of those scores, there have been some unusual things happening around the league today. Harbaugh on 2nd down and 9. Has Dennis McKinnon open, close to a 1st down for the Bears. Pickup of 9. Less than 5 minutes left now. Harbaugh going without a huddle. Now he wants it back. The coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Charles H. Milton III. Game today produced by Robert D. Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman, and the executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker. 3rd and 1. Thornton was the man in motion. Harbaugh himself gained 2, and that should be enough to move the sticks. Well, the Packers are well on their way to doing what they had to do. Cleveland still leading Minnesota in Cleveland. So it could make next week very interesting. take off with it. Tiger Green knocked him out of bounds. Coming up on the NFL Today postgame show, Brent and Herb will have all the scores and highlights and the latest on the playoff picture. And they'll talk live with New York Giants head coach Bill Parcells, whose team shut out Dallas yesterday and clinched a spot in the playoffs. They can still win the NFC East, depending upon what happens to Philadelphia. Harbaugh. Caught by Dennis Jeffrey. 11-yard pickup and another Bear first down. We expected typical NFC Central game. Anderson, which would mean a low scoring. It surely hasn't turned out for that to be the case.
Well, one of the reasons the Bears are in this hurry up now is it's not that the time is low. There's still over 3 minutes, but the Bears have to think in terms of 2 scores.
Right.
So they have to get a score, an onside kick, and another score.
Anderson again. Surges for a first down, stopped by Burnell Dent. And again, they go to the hurry-up picture. Harbaugh calls a timeout with 2:46 left. Green Bay leading Chicago 37-28. 2:46 left.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. The heart of the Vikings defense in the late 60s was their defensive line. Workmen like Gary Larson freed defensive ends Jim Marshall and Carl Eller to crash the pass pocket. And number 88, Alan Page, was the only defensive player ever to be named the league's most valuable player. Individually, all 4 had unique skills. Together as teammates, they were the Purple People Eaters and the best they can be.
I know college won't be an easy climb. That's why I joined the Army. With the GI Bill and the Army College Fund, in 2 years I'll have $17,000 to help me pay for college. And I'm developing the confidence and determination I'll need to help me succeed when I get there. Now I know I can make it to the top, not just in college, but in whatever I do.
Tonight, high-pressure politics.
Run for mayor. It's the American way.
But sometimes the campaign can be murder, she wrote.
Yep.
Then, her bank cards and address book are stolen. Now an unseen psychopath invades her life.
He's after me, my friends, my mother, my son.
He's driving her insane. He's driving her...
Oh, God, he's here!
...to the edge. A world premiere thriller.
I want to get this guy.
Jill Clayburgh, Fear Stalk. Following Murder, She Wrote. Tonight.
37-28. NFL Today. Next Saturday, this is now. The Redskins against Seattle. That's at 3:30 Eastern Time. Right here at Soldier Field today, it's 1st and 10. The Bears are at the Green Bay 13. Packers leading 37-28. Jim Harris of the Packers creeps into the middle slot this time and chases Harbaugh out and sacks Harbaugh. Ball's loose, and the Packers have it. Scott Stevens. Caught from behind at the 10. Harris knocked it loose. That was Ron Morris, who caught Stephen from behind.
Morris was chasing Stephen. He didn't even know who he was chasing. Stephen earlier had made a play, and he got his name knocked off the back of his jersey. Tim Harris has been a little quiet today. Here he comes. He's going to catch Harbaugh from behind and strip him right there. The ball comes out. There's Scott Stephen. He picks it up. No name in the back of the jersey. Morris has no idea who he's chasing, but he just turns on the burners, and boom, he gets him right here. He tries to strip him. Stephen had it protected, though. The poor official, watch the official here. He's going to get run over. The guy, no name in his back. You lose an official, get down.
First and goal for the Packers at the Bear 9. Fullwood, the ball carrier. And more importantly for the Packers right now, the clock is rolling. And the Browns are still beating Minnesota.
That was a big play by Stephen, but it was a big play by Tim Harris, who hustled to get there. Then when he got there, stripped and knocked that ball out of Harbaugh's hand.
We have a 2-minute warning here. There are 4 minutes remaining in Cleveland. The Browns and Vikings.
For our tree at your store and have a happy holiday.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
This Christmas, we gave our family a new Radio Shack compact disc player.
It has a wireless remote and is sale priced at $159.95.
We saved $70.
And for Tony's gift, we got Radio Shack's portable CD player and saved $60. Headphones make it perfect for his dorm.
Or he uses a car adapter.
Because Tony has a habit of dropping in.
CD players at sale prices that are real music to your ears. Only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
Astronomers tell us there won't be a total eclipse in America until the year 2017. They are very much mistaken. This is the year of the eclipse. Introducing the Eclipse GS Turbo by Mitsubishi. Try not to stare.
Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. He lived like there was no tomorrow, but there was. And now he has to pay up, or more accurately, you have to pay up. Pay up for what? Watch 60 Minutes tonight. Following 60 Minutes are Murder, She Wrote. And then the CBS Sunday movie, Fear Stalk. That's all tonight on CBS. Packers have the ball, 2nd and 7. 2nd and goal at the 7 it is. Woodside. Stopped by the 3. Minnesota just went ahead in Cleveland. 3:37 remaining in that game. The Vikings just went ahead of the Browns. Tough year for that guy.
And he has to be upset to be out of that, you know, to know that here he's losing to Green Bay, and he really feels that his team is better still than the Packers. Losing to the Packers, hearing all this stuff, Minnesota's winning, the Packers are winning, and he's been such a big part of this playoff picture, you know, since he's been here. To not be a part of it and see it and hear it going on all around you is very, very difficult.
Ten below when the game started, but the Green Bay fans who remain are used to that sort of thing.
There's a lot of dancing in the stands. Maybe that's the 10 below.
Could be. Could be the scoreboard. Speaking of the scoreboard, look at what Cincinnati has done to Houston. Pittsburgh over New England. Indianapolis beating up on Miami. And San Diego is about to upset Kansas City. The Lions beat Tampa Bay. 3rd and goal. Fullwood, left side, not in. Stopped by a defense led by Dante Jones. But the clock continues. Timeout. The Bears. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Chicago Bears and the National Football League is prohibited.
You know, one interesting thing, Pat, as this game winds down here, you talk about how the offense of this Packers have been so dominating today. They didn't have one punt.
They lined up once right before the half in punt formation and then changed their mind.
And then they didn't, yeah.
And they didn't punt, so you're right.
And
None today.
Don Bracken is their holder. I just saw him run on the field. I was just thinking he hadn't run on the field other than that one time, and he went back off, but he never did punt. He'd been in a little slump. And after today's game, he won't know if he's still in a slump or not.
Jackie's extra point. Bracken is holding this time, 21 yards away. That field goal is good, and it's Green Bay 40. The Bears 28.
You know, there's Tim Harris. He could be leading the lead in sacks now. He came in, he was a half a sack behind Dolman. I heard Dolman hasn't gotten any sacks today. Tim Harris has gotten 2. Now Millard has gotten some sacks, and I think Tim Harris should be 18.5 sacks. I think Millard is 18. So I think the Packers not only win the game, but coming out of this 15th game of the season, Tim Harris could be the leading sacker in the NFL.
.128 left to play. And the Packers will kick to the Bears, who have no timeouts remaining.
Looked like Tim Harris was over in the sideline trying to get his group together to maybe get another sack or 2 for him. But here's a guy who enjoys football. He enjoys playing, and he has fun playing the game. I mean, he has fun with the fans. He has fun with his opponents. He has fun with his teammates. You know, today a lot of the fun has been taken out of the game, and a guy like Tim Harris will put it back in for you.
If your team had a defense called Tim Rover, you'd have some fun, would you?
Yeah.
I can go wherever I want to go, when I want to go. Low kickoff. Handled by one of the up men. Mickey Pruitt was the Bear who knocked that kickoff down. This is the most points that Green Bay has scored against Chicago since the heyday years of Jim Taylor and Paul Hornung, 1962. The days of Lombardi.
You know, it's kind of nice to see Green Bay back or on the road back. I think if they ever get where they really are back all the way, that they're going to be America's team.
Harbaugh back to throw. Gets it outside to Wendell Davis. Out of bounds. Stop the clock with 1:17 left.
There's down. Look at Richard Moran there, 57. He had a tag, it looked like, under his arm, like the sale tag was on there. Now there looks like a warrior. I mean, you got the beard, you got the sweat, you got the dirt, you got the mud. Man, he's still talking about how he's been blocking today, because they made a lot of yardage up the middle.
Harbaugh's pass is incomplete. Intended for Ron Morris. 2:10 remaining in Cleveland, with the Browns on the Minnesota 30-yard line. 2 minutes left in Cleveland. 1:12 left here. 2nd and 10 Bears. Harbaugh gets it out to Glenn Kozlowski. Stopped by Mark Murphy after a pickup of 5.
The defensive line moved down one man every play. There's a guy who had a good name as Keith Woodside.
Oh, yeah.
He started it off. He started everything off, and they kept it rolling.
Pass is almost picked off by Mark Murphy. Incomplete. 46 seconds remaining, intended for Gentry.
He provided it today. You know, that when his team didn't run it with a running game, he ran it or threw it himself. Hey, that was an amazing performance.
And some of the passes he completed were, you couldn't believe he could even deliver the ball.
I'll tell you, his feet helped him as much as his arm today.
4th and 5. Handoff is to Anderson. Got the first down and more. Inside the 30, there's Matsui playing his last game at Soldier Field.
Matsui was a football player.
Oh, boy.
You know, and never really had an injury and only missed one game his whole career. And as Mike Ditka said yesterday, I think the biggest praise you can give, he said he was a bear. And, you know, today I was sitting out in front, and he comes in a checker cab all by himself, Matsui. They drive him right up to the locker room.
Tim Harris is the injured Packer. You're talking about, or we were talking about the game being fun for him. Maybe it's not right now.
Well, you know, he was hurt coming into the game. I mean, he's been banged up the last 3 or 4 weeks, and again, he's one of those guys that this is too exciting and too much fun to miss any games. But he didn't come in with a full tank today.
Again, a reminder that the next time you'll see NFL on CBS next week will be on Saturday. At 3:30 Eastern Time, it begins with the NFL today. Washington and the Redskins at Seattle. Green Bay 40, the Bears 28. Who would have thought? Harbaugh swings it outside to Mark Green. Stays in bounds. 6-yard pickup, Mark Murphy. Cleveland is on the Minnesota 16-yard line with 1.5 minutes remaining. Harbaugh has the pass picked off by Bernell Dent. Harbaugh trips him up. And that ought to finish things off, and does. On a cold day at Wrigley Field, Soldier Field, final score is Green Bay 40, the Bears 28. Stay tuned for the NFL Today postgame show. Brent Nerve will have all the highlights and scores. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Filtered, never heat pasteurized, Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth, real draft beer taste, the world is a very cool place. So tap into the cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
Many men have sensitive skin that's irritated by shaving. Aftershave Skin Conditioner is clinically proven to soothe and relieve razor-scraped skin. Sensible care for sensitive skin. After.
By Menon.
Happy holidays from all of us at Angel Soft and Georgia Pacific.
In 13 cities and 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song. United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve.
halfway around the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Monday, right after Major Dan.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
An episode unseen for 33 years. The Ricardos and the Mertzes light up the holidays with the I Love Lucy Christmas special. Monday at 8:30 on CBS.